Alright, so I have two pieces of paper. You can imagine this as two different students whose work I want to scan into Evernote. So right now, if you look down on the bottom right hand corner down the taskbar, you see the little scan snap icon is X'd out with a circle with a little red, slash through it, which means that the scanner is turned off or unplugged. So the first thing I'm going to do is open it up. So now it says IX500 is ready to scan, and that means I'm good to go. Now I'm going to take the two pieces of paper, and the first one on the top of the pile that I'm going to stick in the scanner is the single-sided white piece of paper, and the second one is the two-sided gold, I guess is the color. So I'm going to put those in the scanner, as I mentioned earlier, facing downward and upside down. And then I'm going to go to the profiles and left click on this button down here. And I don't know what this is. Status display. I don't know what this is. Hopefully it will go away after this first time. Alright, let's try that again. Left click. And there they are. So, like I told you earlier, my most frequently used two of the most frequently used profiles are Scan to Evernote Document, which is two-sided, and it will make however many sheets of paper you have up to the 50 that you can stick in this scanner at a time. They'll all scan into one Evernote note, and if there's two-sided documents, both sides will be scanned. On the other hand, this one down here, Scan to Evernote Simplex, is one note per page. So in this example where I'm at now, I've got two pieces of paper, so I'm going to end up with two notes. But the second side, or the back side of the gold paper, won't be scanned. Well, that's not going to do me any good. So then I have to come down here to the one that I created, and it says two-sided, one note per page. Well, that's going to be exactly what I need, because I do have a two-sided piece of paper, and then I have a single-sided piece of paper. And hopefully this will function not only to give me the two sides of the one piece of paper, but it will ignore the second side of the single-sided piece of paper because there's nothing there. That's what it's supposed to do. And as I said, it doesn't do that perfectly, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to choose this option. So I click on it. And if you're not sure, because it doesn't tell you that option was selected, you can always go back and look and make sure that it's checked. And as you see, the bottom option is now checked. So we know that worked. So now I'm ready to go, and I just click on the blue button on the right hand side of the front of the SnapScan scanner, and you should hear the papers go through. Let's try that. There's the two sides, or two papers. Now watch the screen. Two pages have been scanned into two separate sheets. And in a second here, after Evernote is finished performing OCR, or optical character recognition, so that you can search on the words that are in the documents, you will notice that two new documents will show up. I'll put this on pause for a second. And we're just about done. You can see that we're still processing text recognition, which is the OCR I was talking about. Alright, that should be finished, and in a second you'll see them finish syncing in Evernote, and then the two new documents will show up. It says Evernote not responding. There they are. Okay, so it did finally respond. 1 minute ago, two separate Evernote notes, and let's see if we got what we wanted on both of them. So the first one, as I told you, was, let's see, the single-sided, and that's going to be the one on the bottom here, because you can see it was 30 seconds into the what is it? 1600 is 4 p.m. So it's 30 seconds after 4 p.m. The next one came through at 42 seconds. So the first one is on the bottom here, the most recent one on top, and the first one was the single-sided. So let's see if it handled that blank page or not. Keep your fingers crossed. Click on it, and of course you see the first side, it was just a check request that I put through. Let's see what it says. Yes, page 1 of 1. So it ignored the second page. Now let's see if it handled the two-sided. So we click. There's the second side. I guess I put it in backwards. And it only did page 1 of 1. So somebody did something wrong. That's how it's supposed to work, and I'll update you on what probably I did wrong here, because this is just the first of 2 pages, and it should have been two-sided. So let me do some research, and I'll get back to you on that one. Alright, I did some investigating, and I actually created another profile just to experiment without changing the original. So I'm looking at that one. It's basically the same as the last one, two-sided with 1 note per page. And I'm on the File Option tab, and I clicked on Option. And previously I'd had checked Generate 1 PDF file per 1 page, thinking that a piece of paper was a page. And so every piece of paper I wanted to make into a separate file, whether it was single or double-sided paper. I'm thinking, and we'll find out in a second if I was right, that every piece of paper has 2 sides. So you want to have 1 PDF file, which means 1 Evernote document. Remember, the PDF file referred to here is terminology from the ScanSnap scanner software. But Evernote uses different terminology. They talk about a note. So each note is going to have potentially 1 or more PDF documents in it. So every PDF document or PDF file, in the terminology used here in front of us, has to represent either 1 or 2 pieces of, or 1 or 2 pages, and each piece of paper has 2 of them, 2 pages. I hope my logic is making sense. So anyhow, I had 1 here before, now I'm changing it to 2. So every 2 sides of a piece of paper hopefully will generate 1 PDF file, and hence 1 note in Evernote, given the way this profile is set up. So let's see if that works. So I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to say OK again. And yes, I want to save the changes I just made. And you can see all my attempts here. They all failed. So we're going to try one more time. So I've moved things around a little bit on the profiles. Here's the original 2 that I had, and then the third one, which was down below here, I moved it up just so they're all together. And then here's the brand new one I just created. So if this one works, then I'm going to delete this one, which was the previously last one I created. Again, I hope you're following all this. So this one's going to be the one we choose. And like I said, I tried several things before. And by the way, just to say, I mean, you're listening to a long-winded explanation of my attempt to figure all this out. That's how I've gotten everything set up the way I do, is experimentation. And sometimes things don't work, and I do quick workarounds until I have a chance to solve the original problem. So if this works, then I know how to solve a problem I haven't solved yet. So one of the things I tried was putting the 2-sided document in first, and then the single-sided document, which is backwards from what I did the first time. That didn't help. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. So this two-sided documents in the scanner first, and then the single-sided. And you saw the profile that I'm using. Now I'm going to try this again. So, be right back. Okay, two-sided with one note per page. It says I have 3 pages, 2 sheets. I don't know if you saw that. It went pretty quick. So that's what I want. 3 pages, 2 sheets, which means 2 Evernote notes for these 2 pieces of paper. Let's see if it shakes out that way. So far it's looking good. Document 2 of 2 and page 1 of 1. There's the second page. Now let's see what comes out of here. So the last one was 9 minutes ago. The one I just saw show up in Evernote here is 1 minute ago, and it looks like it might have worked. So first one should be two-sided. I click on it. There's side 1, semester 1, and there's page 1 of 2. Click on this, and there's semester 2, the back side of the page, all in one note. And then the second one should be single-sided, and it is. Okay, so we learned something together. So again, you saw my mistakes and you saw how they got worked out, and I promise you I didn't make all that up. That was for real. You got to watch live. So hit the next button and go to the next slide when you're ready.